person talking about love, man, brother, is the preacher. And it seems nobody's interested in learning but the teacher.
Hey, Chalk Talkers, welcome back. We're here for another episode. Today we're going to talk about motivation, and we're also going to recap the UPA meet we had here this last week. So you can get a whole bunch of stuff today. First though, I'm going to bore you two here for a second and talk about some sports ball stuff.
Yes.
Portland Trailblazers are looking at signing Anthony Bennett. 2-3 years ago was the #1 draft pick.
Yep, this will be his third year.
Why should the Blazers be looking at Bennett, Adrian?
Well, I mean, we're playing Moneyball this year, so I think we're just trying to find undeveloped talent at a super low cost. And then it's just another trade piece, you know. As an example, you know, we picked up Thomas Robinson, and everybody was super psyched about him, but he eventually was a trade for Aaron Aflalo. Mm-hmm. And even though Aaron didn't stick around, I mean, in hindsight, that was a good pickup to trade then.
Right.
And we picked him off waivers when Houston waived him, so, or maybe it was Sacramento that waived him.
Sacramento,
I think
yeah.
it was Sacramento.
But so it's just I think that's a good way to just figure out if the guy deserves to be in the NBA, and then if he does, he's either a trade piece or, you know, maybe he turns out to be our next, you know, power forward that we need.
Sure. That's the one thing. If it does work out, it would be cool. We'll be able to say like, oh yeah, we knew what we were doing. Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't, then things just happen like normal the way that they were. That one's Adrian's, or maybe not.
It's not opened.
Oh, okay.
I know Jeff likes that.
I love the razor.
Oh, okay. So we'll see what happens. I know that right now, you know, the power forward spot's a lot. The Blazers are developing a lot of guys there. You know, we'll see if maybe adding that other piece is going to be helpful, or which one of them is going to explode. Because one of them has to do something.
Unfortunately, I think the odd man out is Chris Kaman. I would like to see him retire in Portland. I've wanted to pick him up for the longest time, right? And we finally get him, and he's kind of towards the end of his career, and looks like probably this will be his last year with us. I think we'll probably trade him pretty early in the season.
Yeah, it's too bad we didn't get to see him play with Aldridge a little bit longer, because I think that combination is really good. Having somebody down low who can score, shoot that jumper,
and pass,
and have Kaman who's going to get physical, push him around.
Yeah,
It is all about the jumper.
Yeah. Getting physical.
One of these days, I want to get a basketball in your guys' hands and go to a court and watch you guys try and play.
they both just try to put it in their mouth. That's what's normal for them.
I can kind of shoot like 3 free throws, but that's about it.
Do you do a style between the legs?
Well, yeah, I mean, duh.
It's the easiest.
If you get the backspin.
So let's see. Let's talk about the PAP in Pacifico. They got an event coming up. Is that right?
No, it just finished.
Oh, it just finished.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was just the same weekend actually as ours.
Yeah.
There was like
the Olympians. There was everything going on that same weekend.
Great planning.
We should do that again.
Yeah.
Next time we should. Actually, I'm pretty sure we nailed it on the first one. Wait for the biggest like strength sports anything kind of event in the entire world. Mm-hmm. Like it happens one day a year for all the sports, and we should host our meet on that day.
Sure.
Like we should probably aim for like the end of February, beginning of March, same time as
as Arnold. That'd be good.
Like, why don't we look up that weekend and just book the meet right now?
Right, it's a good idea.
It's set.
And we'll invite hey Arnold, you want to come check out?
You want to come to the
I know you're not
Savage?
doing anything. You want to come to Savage and you want to come be on Chalk Talk?
Well, let's talk about this CPAP and Pacifico thing.
Yeah, well,
So
what's
they-
this argument?
So they started this like argument over like not liking each other, right? And they pretend not to like each other. Here's the thing, like if I don't like somebody that much, right? Where we're talking about like judges having to hold you back, guess what? I'm not gonna sit down and do a video with that jackass. Because probably the chance of me beating their ass during that is pretty high, you know, it's likely.
I'd ignore their calls and send them straight. I'd be like, I don't even care if you know I sent you to voicemail.
I don't understand why I ever agreed to sit down with you, Adrian, and like be on.
Well, that's because you're sitting way the fuck down there.
This is strategically set up.
That's just, to me, it's silly. This isn't wrestling. It's
also
not.
frames the shot well since you're both like 300 pounds.
It's the cream. Cream of the crop.
So I don't know. I think it's silly.
See, that's what, to me, it sounds like WWF style. Like
It
the way
is,
Stone
yeah.
Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon would yell at each other all the time, but you know they loved it because they were all making all this money together.
Yeah.
There's people I really don't like in lifting, right? Like I really don't like them.
No,
I will not sit down and do an interview with them and tell people how much I don't like them. I don't care. I mean, if you guys want to go compete against each other, go compete against each other, and then that's it. That's the end of it. But there's this big workup to all these videos about how they're doing all these things for prepping for this meet. It's like, who gives a shit? Go compete, figure it out, and then move on.
right?
It's pretty simple.
I think we should
pretty
start
simple.
having like, you should just have the meet and then afterwards have the Thunderdome.
Yeah. Maybe they could both fit into one bench press shirt and beat each other up or something. Or, I don't know, rub it out. I don't know. I don't
Each other
know.
and just slingshot them to each other.
We could put them in a bench press shirt and then they could play tummy sticks.
But they could put a squat suit on and a bench press shirt.
Oh, at
shirt,
the
and
same
then go
time.
fight.
And make him be like Rock'em Sock'em robots. I can't move my arms or my legs.
It's
Well,
just, it's stupid.
he's heading to jail.
Whoops.
I heard that he dipped out on court for a DWI charge from I think a year ago or something
I think
to go do this meet. So he's like, I'm not missing my meet, and then
he's pretty familiar with going to jail.
well,
So I think it's kind of is
Not
what
a
it
big
is.
deal.
it's a hard life.
It's the off season.
Yeah. It's a deload month.
I was gonna say too, he's got to get some good training done.
Yeah.
You may not get the same equipment, but you have nothing but time. So I mean, push-ups for
Yeah, but they
days.
took weights out of a lot of the jails.
I wonder if we could. I wonder if like we could figure out a way to put the slingshot on the canteen list, so like you could order it.
The commissary.
On the
I'll take some
commissary.
Palmer's cocoa butter.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to
A
call
couple of
whatever.
TJ Mamas.
You need to call whatever jail and get that on the commissary.
2
list.
cups of noodles and a slanger.
Yeah.
Hey, you put some money
What else
on
we got? What else we got?
Let's see. Blaine Sumner took Ray Williams' IPF world record. It looks like. What were the numbers on that one, Adrian? You remember?
Ray Williams actually was just on the cover of Power magazine
okay.
when he broke that record through the IPF. Blaine Sumner. No, I don't remember. I wrote him down there though.
Oh, are these those ones?
Oh yeah.
No
Would you- why would you have a
that's-
different name written?
Well,
right there?
because these three are attached
Yeah.
to this.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
is separate.
Oh, I got you. Okay, so we did a 914 squat,
If you'd have liked to
529
apply.
bench, 766 dead.
I think that's
That gotta go with
this.
that.
No, it's not.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Do you even math?
I just did it. I just did it.
Let's add them up and see if
Alright.
they equal the other category.
Watermelon.
Plus
W-A-T-E-R.
Plus
L-O-N.
766. Oh, 2209.
Yeah, so it doesn't.
Alright,
So
Oh, weird.
so
Yes, we're right.
Huh.
how
Wow.
did you get this total without a dead? Like, where's
This
Because
total goes to this.
this-
It's
so
like
yeah.
a separate line, like right there.
Yeah,
Alright.
So we take really great notes before the show.
We set up
squatted
To
a
be
lot of
honest,
weight?
In
He
Adrian's
squatted
defense,
more
in
weight
Adrian's
than
defense,
the
these
other
are
guy.
actually really good notes. It's just there's
I
one
drew
spot.
that line thinking I was done, and then I saw Derek Kendall stuff, and I wanted to add that.
All right. No, it's fair enough.
Now you're jumping ahead.
I can't
We're
go
talking
below the
about
line.
this right here.
Well,
and
Derek Kendall's next.
Blaine Sumner took a record from
The IPF
Ray Williams.
world record.
He squatted a lot of weight. Previously, Ray Williams had squatted slightly less. In other news, Derek Kendall may have totaled 2,254 pounds, not via the 914 squat, potentially from a 529 bench, and I don't know who the fuck lifted 766. Back to you.
Oh man, ABC will not be calling you. That is terrible. Yeah. So Derek Kendall had a 2,254 total at
Bosses.
Bosses.
And what's interesting with that is that that's under a pretty strict federation. The judging is pretty strict, so it's
Yeah, that's a big deal.
for him to hit 2,200. What was it, 22?
2209 or something like that.
Yeah, 54. I mean, that's huge under that kind of judging.
Like
It is strict.
what makes them so much more strict? What are the things that they want?
They just kind of pride themselves on making sure all the squats are below depth or below parallel.
USPA, or we're still talking IPF?
No, the USPA. We're talking about Derek Kendall now.
Derek Kendall, Bosses too.
And so with the benching, they have a start command, a pause command, and a rack command. And the start command is just difficult because a lot of guys like to, right when they get the lift off, they like to drop the bar. So I mean, it's just difficult. And so to hit those kind of numbers is good for him. And Derek's super strong, and he's a monster of a guy.
Nice. All right. So this last week we had a meet here at the gym at Savage Strength and Conditioning. UPA Savage Fest 2015.
Savage Strength Fest.
Savage Strength
on your
Fest.
shirt.
The shirt's misprinted too, but that's okay.
Okay. Well, either way,
It's on there. It's in our hearts.
had a good event here. Jaron, what were some of the big lifts that we had?
We had, I think our biggest bench of the day was Matt Phelps. He ended up hitting a 560 at 242 drug tested.
Barely missing 570.
Yeah. We had 14-year-old girl Taya pull 390 at 138 at 14 years old, which
And
is
she totaled over
ridiculous.
700.
Yeah.
Seems like every time she was coming up, it was
Like, oh, another record at 10. I was like,
Another
of course it
world
is.
record.
Of course it is. Hey, I need to put it as like, I know, I just have you highlighted, just everything's a record.
Big earplugs did a big total.
Earplugs?
Yeah, big earplugs.
Are we all supposed to
No, I'm
know
talking about
about
that's a
the
joke.
earplugs?
That's a joke.
I don't know.
Biggie?
Biggie, oh,
Oh my god.
sorry.
Wait, where did the earplugs come in?
He does- I think
Big-ass
he has plugs.
Oh.
That's what everybody was calling
yeah.
him Biggie, so when he walked by, I was like, big ass earplugs. I kind of giggled. I don't know if he giggled, but
He's doing Larson presses, I saw on Instagram. So.
yeah, great. His bench will go up now.
He was another one, yeah. Every squat
Yeah.
he was doing was another world record.
He's
That
a,
guy's
he's a 123. He pulled over 400. He squatted 3 something.
The guy has a chance at that weight to break an all-time record, and not
Yeah,
only
absolutely.
break an all-time record, but then hold an all-time record for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
The guy is super strong.
Yeah, he's only 21.
Man, he is so small looking at him, but at the same time, like I feel like he would just destroy me. If we ever got into it, I would have to apologize and cower, even though he weighs like a third of me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's a strong kid, and I'm really looking forward. I really hope he can come up
Yeah.
and do some more stuff up here because I would really like to see him break whatever the all-time record is at 128.
Yeah, he's gonna definitely be a Richard Hawthorne.
What else?
Good
we?
old Richard.
Yeah.
So we were doing a push-up contest
Furious, huh?
with a slingshot for the Furious 7 copy, the Blu-ray copy we were giving away, which that was a great giveaway to be
Yeah.
able to have. That was awesome. So a little, it was Sam, came up, did a slingshot, put on a slingshot,
Yeah.
did push-ups against me, and I'm a little disappointed. The kid blew me away.
To his credit, the slingshot didn't even fit.
Yeah.
So it was just sitting there on his forearm.
Well, see, that makes it worse because
I know.
I had the
You had
help of the
assistance.
slingshot. I was 3, maybe 4 beers deep at the time, but I was like, all right, if he can do one more, he's got me. And then he goes ahead and does
He does like 5
yeah,
more.
yeah.
He's like, all right, just do one more
Just
and
do one
you
more
win.
scores, and
I'll
then
have
just
it. He's
don't
like, no, now I'm done.
As we were doing it, like at about 12, I was like, hey, are you tired yet? Because I was feeling it. He's like, nope, and just, oh man, just kept going. So good on him. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Some of the couple guys, or maybe one guy that we left off was Joel Raymond.
Yeah.
Oh,
he
yeah,
killed it.
Joel.
Joel
He had a
Raymond did a push
720.
pull. He did. I think it was a 740 pull, wasn't it?
I think
Or
it was
he failed that.
720 and he missed a 7.
And then benched
40.
in the mid to high fours,
It's like 480. I think.
480.
Yeah, like 480 and
The guy's a
720.
monster. He is so big, and I remember meeting him at a competition probably like a year, maybe a year and a half ago. And we just got to know each other then, and he's come down to a couple of the stuff that,
He's
couple
at
of
the
things
autism
we've
meet,
done.
yeah.
Yeah, the autism meet, and then this one, and the guy just keeps getting stronger and stronger. And he's a monster, and I can't wait to see him bench over 5. And
Yeah.
I'm super excited to see him do a full power meet too. He kind of has always been like a bodybuilding type, but now transitioning into powerlifting, it'll be interesting to see with his full focus on powerlifting what kind of numbers he can get.
Sure.
The other thing that I've never seen before that I wanted to put out there was Patrick Thomas. So I've never seen a guy walk up to the deadlift bar, not set up, just grab the bar and freaking rip it up.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before. So like I was anticipating, because he lifted at the Lift for Autism also,
Yeah.
and he didn't do it that way. So I was kind of anticipating setup, and I'm sitting there and I'm kind of zoning out or whatever, and I look over and he's already got the bar standing up, and I was like,
Yeah.
holy cow.
I called him a sandbagger when they put me in the mic. I was
And
like,
he
what
hit
are you?
like a 60-pound PR.
Oh yeah, he pulled. I think he pulled 570 was his last slip.
570, and I think 520 was his best before that.
Yeah,
Jeez.
but he opened it like 5 or something. I was like, okay, doof. I was
But
like,
it was
what are you doing?
was crazy. He like walked as fast as he could straight to the bar, bent down, picked it up, and stood up. It wasn't like he didn't set up, he didn't get his feet in position, he didn't get squared with the bar. He literally got pissed off, grabbed the bar, and ripped it up. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, that was
Skip
pretty
leg
awesome.
day. I actually asked him, I'm going to go train at his gym here in a couple weeks, and he asked me if we were going to do legs. It's like, no, we'll skip it.
Probably skip that one.
Yeah, it was cool though. We had a lot of different gyms, a lot of different teams, a lot of different coaches and
Yeah.
crews come out. So it was a good event. We had people from 4 states.
Oh wow, yeah. It was
So-
cool seeing the different coaches working with the different teams, kind of how everybody was doing their own
Yeah.
thing. That was a good time though. I had fun.
Yeah.
Are you stabbing yourself?
No, I got a sliver underneath my fingernail.
Well, you like. What's that? Ow!
I love that some of us. are
Half of the
doing
back
it.
of this desk is exposed like plywood.
I've had a rough week. I was
So
using
you got
the hedge,
Band-Aid.
using the hedge trimmer, and so on Sunday after he bugged out on me,
Manscaping.
I go out and grab the hedge trimmer and start going to town.
Manscaping.
And
Going to town.
listen, so my shoulders get tired holding it like this. So I hold it with one
Do you
hand.
do anything with your upper body at all, or you
No, not for high reps like that. So I'd hold it with one hand, and then it started like sawing off my skin. So I went to the other hand and started doing it there.
Well, you generally hold the handle at the back. You don't want to hold.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
actually grab onto the.
Well, I know, yeah, because you have to hold the trigger down. So I'm holding it like this, going to town, and it ended up getting to the spot where I finally got mad, and I baseball swinged it up against a pillar, and I don't know if it works anymore. Called it quits after that.
You need to work on your conflict resolution skills.
Why? Why do you have hedges at your house? Like, wouldn't you get rid of those, or do you just not have a choice? You stuck with them?
No, I can get rid of them.
Because my thought is like, from where we used to live in Gresham, we had a spot where we had all these hedges, and
Yeah.
once a week we'd go out there and trim them, and it was a whole
Ding, 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 ding,
effing
ding.
ordeal of all the stuff that we had to do. There's no way I will ever have something like that at my
Nobody
house.
Well,
does hedges
but I only
anymore.
do it-
Hedges are very like.
I only do it
80s.
once a year. So here's
That's like we
Because
can't.
it's so,
we can't. We don't want to pay for a
2000.
fence. We're gonna
so
grow
we
a
have
fence.
like shrubs and stuff in front of our house, and obviously I keep those trimmed up. But then we have right in the front, right at the beginning of the driveway, we have these 3 hedges. So what I do is I trim those down because I'd like to be able to, if I'm in my driveway, I want to be able to look down the street. And these hedges have grown so high that I
Just sit
can't.
there and stare at people.
Yeah,
So you
and
do
so
that.
I can see whatever idiot's coming over to my house. So I can tell
Not
them
on
to
my
keep walking.
watch. Drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. You just do it the one time.
Get off my lawn.
And since this guy bailed on me, I had nothing else to do.
Right.
with yard
Why
work.
am I supposed to be in charge of your yard work?
No, he bailed on me because we were supposed to meet on Sunday.
I bailed on you and then unloaded
Yeah.
the gym myself.
Not on Sunday.
Failed.
Well, fuck that. I was tired.
But yeah, the UPA meet was pretty awesome.
It was a lot of fun.
There was a lot of good lifters.
I was tired.
It was fun to see the whole show go down. I think it went pretty well.
Yeah, it was good. I do enjoy that there was beer there. That was nice. Made having a microphone in front of me easier and easier. As it went along, just things got easier to do. I don't know quite what made that happen, but
I don't think I've ever actually gone to a meet before where they just provided donuts.
You're
You just
welcome.
walk in and there's donuts.
Yeah.
Like, how the
oh
donut?
man, yeah, that was nice. The problem was though, the donut box was right in front of us,
Oh yeah, so we're sitting there.
and I was trying so hard not to have one, and I was
And
doing
free
all right
diesel.
because I was stuffed. and-
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a savior too.
We were back there and like we've got all the trophies and prizes on one end. We've got the TV with the monitor and projection and all that shit on that side. And we're like, I want a donut. You want a donut? Yeah, Josh. How are we gonna get these donuts? Like we're trying to reach. No. Ah, crap. I gotta plug the score into
Gotta
the
do
sheet.
something.
It's like, all right, you want Viso? Yeah. And at one point, like, I was like, tell me if it was 3 whites. And I crawled up under the table, stole some Visos, and came back.
You know there was people like walking by. You could have just. Hey,
Yeah, but then it would have, like, people would have known I was getting a donut. This way, if I'm sneaky about it, you suck at being a fat kid.
We're trying to
Like,
be professional
You're
here.
supposed to sneak your junk
I-
food and hide and eat it
I don't.
in your
Yeah, I
bed
just
in the
don't
middle of the
sneak
night.
it. I just eat it.
All right. So now let's talk about motivation. We're going to talk about a couple of different types of the motivation. You know, long-term, motivating yourself towards big goals. You know, short-term, what motivates you to get out of bed that day, or what motivates you to do, you know, one big lift. Jaron, what do you use? What's a good What's your motivation? What pushes you?
Gave
In
one.
which terms? The long terms or the short terms?
Pick one.
My
let's start-
answer will be like kind of buzzkilly.
Well,
So you might want to leave me
all right.
for,
Well, let's
for
skip
later.
you then.
Come back to
Jeff, let's
Yes,
go. What do you want to start with? Long term or short
Yeah,
term?
how you doing today, Jeff?
I'm doing good. It's time for us to hear your voice.
What
a
gets
little
you
bit.
motivated? What gets you motivated? That's what I want to know.
me. You know what?
Asking
Enough about me.
questions.
Enough about me. I don't feel that you get highlighted enough.
Yeah, I feel the same.
What motivates you?
So what motivates you? What motivates
Sex in
you?
the City reruns.
Oh my God!
Man.
Yes.
That and Family Feud.
Side note: did you see? What was the last thing I had my fingers in? He's like, "That'd be my wife."
They said that?
Yeah.
So they asked the guy the question of, where was the last place that your fingers have been?
That'd be
the
my
guy
wife, Steve.
With his wife right next to him. His wife thought it was hilarious. If I said that to my wife,
Yeah, on
first of all,
TV.
she would stab me.
Right.
Second of all, this is Family Feud,
On TV.
which means
Oh, yeah.
that the rest of my family is there.
Right.
And they would also stab me.
Oh,
like,
I'd
Dad
still
wouldn't stab
say
me. He would just not let me go home. He's like, "Oh, hey, you live here at Family Feud now. You don't get to come back with
You know
us."
what I would do is at every family gathering is I would play it on the TV. Hey, you guys remember this? Play.
Oh man, that would be terrible. But
People do stupid shit.
That
Yeah.
was awesome, though. That wasn't stupid.
no, I
No,
mean,
that was stupid.
If you think about it, though, it's funny. But if you are a mid-30s guy,
And you're over here making banjo noises at us trimming hedges, and you're saying something like that's funny?
Yes.
Oh man.
what if that's your dad or your uncle? Like, I guess
Yeah.
uncle's a bad example because that's funny if it's your uncle. But if it's your dad, that would be creepy. Like, that would upset me if my dad said the last place his fingers were in my mom. That's not okay to say, especially not on TV.
Yeah, but
Or a podcast.
but the sting goes away if they've been divorced for 20 years.
I don't know.
All right. I guess if it's a stepmom, it's different.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
All right,
So
fine.
that's way off topic. So let's
Definitely
go.
don't find that funny. That was offensive. You can
So
write me
let's
a
start with
criticism.
long-term motivational goal, long-term stuff. What motivates you guys to?
What motivates you?
For me, it's family. I have my goal of this is where I want to be at my job or where I want to take, Chalk Talk, and the goals, the reason that motivates me those is I have a wife and a kid at home, hanging out, waiting for me to get done and come back and have
Yeah.
lunch with. That keeps me going. Another thing that keeps me going, to be honest, is my ego. I often walk around feeling like I'm better than a lot of other people. I feel like I'm better than all of you guys.
Yeah.
I have that mentality every day.
Makes
I
sense.
don't care. It doesn't bug me that people might think that's bad or not. They can, yeah, that's me. I'm
Well,
better.
you're still better than me.
I'm smarter than you, and I can get things done better.
Yeah,
That's the
God's
attitude I
people
got.
like you.
So I have to have that to keep me going in a way of I can't not be smarter than you.
Right.
If I'm gonna act like I'm smarter than you, I have to keep going. I have to
Yeah.
keep pushing myself to get to that point.
Right.
Notice though I use smarter, not stronger, because I'm not stupid. What about you, Jen?
For long-term stuff, I'm not a big fan of motivation. I'm more of a fan of talking about like commitment and consistency and dedication, stuff like that.
Wouldn't you say though that you need motivation to be consistent on?
Yeah, I think motivation is something that gets you started, but after that, it's kind of a quickly fading feeling. What are you talking shit?
Not talking shit. He's over here mimicking me.
Oh, well, I'm gonna talk to Josh again.
I like that throughout this whole show, half of us have been paying attention.
I've
It
been paying
seems to
attention the whole
shift.
time.
It's like a 2-person cluster.
I thought, like, come on, every time we do this show, you're always like, I got the AED kid over here who's like kicking me the whole time. I'm trying not to kick you this time.
Well, yeah, you've been doing good on that one.
Oh no.
Um,
So yeah, so
Consistency.
I'm more a fan of trying to pay attention to like building consistency and like breaking things down into small habits that I need to do every single day to be successful at something, because I quite often am not necessarily motivated to do anything. Like I don't wake up and like, oh, now I'm gonna go attack the day. I wouldn't mind going back to sleep. This morning when I woke up, I was like, it's time to podcast. I'm so motivated and fired up, and I'm gonna go read some memes and watch some video compilations. I wanted to go back to bed.
I tried to push it out.
Yeah, but I got work to do.
Well, so now
So-
one of the things that I guess like you were, as you say, like you prefer the short term, right? The each day, kind of day by day. Is
Yes,
that what
and
you were saying?
not so much. I'd like to be less reliant on being motivated and more reliant on my commitment to doing something.
Okay.
So what motivates me is like if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna die trying and work harder than anybody that I know to make it happen, even if it fails.
Sure.
So that's more motivating to me to know, like in the back of my mind, that there won't be something that I won't absolutely work my hardest towards accomplishing. That's more motivating for me.
All right. Well, see, but that, you can't
Make
say
sense?
that. Yeah, you can't say that's not motivation, though. I mean, that is those. You can hear it. Even the tone in your voice changed as you said it.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. I don't know. It's
I
just a
pretty
different
much
way to
just
think
got
about it.
Motivated just hearing you.
You're right. I know. It's almost like a Rudy moment.
I mean, like that whole moment there just made me like, all right, I'm ready to go back to bed.
So I don't know. I like to break it into things like that, because one of the best things that I have ever been told as far as like motivational advice was when I was probably 15 or 16. I had an improv coach actually,
Wow.
and he true story.
Of course you did.
Homeschooled.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, taught me how to make friends.
Improv coach.
Casting couch.
Means mom.
Yeah, his mom.
But one of the things that he told me is he said, he always used to say can't means won't. So that means that anything that I can't do, it means, or anytime that I say I can't do something, it means I just flat out won't. And I'm not willing to try, and I'm not willing to work hard at it. So if you flip that, that means anything that you want to do, you just have to be willing to work at it.
Sure.
So I don't know. Everything in my life is just like throwing a bunch of shit on the wall and then seeing what sticks and figuring it out as I go.
All right. Adrian, for you in let's not as long term, short term, but what
Would have been shorter without the interruptions.
what are things that like? What would you find to be a difference between maybe something that's an instant motivation, or something that you really have to put the time into and work towards? I guess it is kind of the same, just wording short term, long term a little bit better way, but.
Well, I'm actually going to put together a video this week about motivation, and specifically tackling the people that competed at the UPA meet, and then how to deal with, specifically maybe failing, maybe not reaching your goals, and how to use that down the road. For me, kind of like an instant, the first thing that pops in my head when I think about being motivated is watching that animal clip of Eric Lillybridge squatting, and as he's warming up, there's a spot where he's squatting like 600 pounds, right? And the bar, when he stands up, leaves his back. And every time I watch that, I get chills, like how hard he's pressing and the amount of determination he has for that lift. It just, I don't know, that just fires me up. Every time I watch that, I have to be able to go to the gym within the next half hour, because I'll sit there and go stir crazy if I can. So that's kind of an instant motivator for me. Also, music really does it for me too. I have to listen to certain music on the way to the gym to get me fired up. And some days it's different. It's not always like the same type of music or even the same song, but certain things just to like really kind of get it going. As far as like long term, it's a little different. Long term is more of what I want my legacy to be. I want how people to remember me by. And with that being said, it's kind of like when I look at like my dad. I specifically remember a time where he was sick. He couldn't go to work that day, and he went outside and started doing yard work at 8 in the morning. You know, and the guy's got a runny nose, he's coughing, sore throat, feels like garbage. And on any of those days, what we would do is just stay in bed. We would just lay there and not ever get out of bed, right? And this guy's out there doing yard work. And that just blows my mind. And that's the kind of legacy that I want, is that people to see when I go to the gym or when I'm doing something, that this guy's all the way in. That this guy's not 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and he's really putting in the work.
I think that's probably another, now that you mentioned it, another really big motivator for me is that I'm, you know, kind of also a large part of my life has become being a coaching, coaching role. And so another one of the things that is always kind of in the back of my mind is setting an example for the people that, you know, I'm in a position to have influence over. And I want them to be able to look at what I do and, you know, same as Adrian was saying, know that everything that I do I'm 100% in, even if there's a risk, even if, you know, it requires some sacrifice, that anything that I attempted to do, I put 100% of effort into, just because that's something that I think is really important lesson to be able to teach people.
Sure. Yeah, I like the term legacy. I think that's a good one to think about for the long term.
Leave your legacy.
For speaking of coaching, I'm not gonna go to you though. I'm gonna go to Jeff.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Great balls of fire.
What? How do you motivate other people? You know, it's one thing to know what motivates you.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you figure out what motivates others?
Well, mostly I just punch people in the face and say, do it.
Sure.
No.
Trees and people, same thing. Yeah.
Same thing. Well, you know, because I'm better than everyone else. I can see everything with trees anyway, so, you know, following along with Josh's thing there. But anyway, for me, for me personally, when it comes to
I
motivating,
missed that.
I know. That's why I had to.
I broke the soundboard. We were going to use it to replace you one day.
But when it comes to motivating other people and coaching, I do. It depends on the individual, and it depends on what they're doing. And so the big thing I always try to do when I'm coaching is find out what their goals are. And those moments when they get tired, those moments they don't want to be there, I like to remind them of where they're going, and that kind of consistency thing. And you know, the biggest saying that I always like to use is, you know, anybody can come into the gym when they're fresh and do some push-ups. Anybody can come in when they first, like, you know, everything's great. I got, you know, 20 hours of sleep. I've, you know, eaten everything I need to eat. Everything's perfect. And I'm going to come to the gym and I'm going to lift. Or I'm going to, you know, do my calisthenics or whatever. And it's like, yeah, everything's great. Well, guess what? Life's not perfect. And not everything's ever going to be perfect for you. So the thing that I always try to do, and I mean, it's kind of the way I do my programming, the way I do my training too, is it's what you do when you're tired is what makes you a champion. And it's that, you know, when you hurt, when your body is just battered and beaten and you've thrown up and you can't even stand up anymore and you decide, I don't give a shit, I'm going to get under that bar anyway and I'm going to squat again for, you know, the 100th time or something, and my body doesn't want to do it. You know, those are the kind of things that I like to throw at people.
Sure.
And, you know, that kind of just, I feel that a lot of times just bringing that, like, big energy to the gym, and, like, you know, I've said it before, when it comes to certain people want me to scream at them, and other people just like me to watch them, or, you know, to be there for them and stuff. And I feel that when it comes to motivating other people as a coach, you got to kind of watch that individual, see what they're looking for and what they want out of you, and you start to develop that relationship. As you develop that, you know, coach and athlete relationship, you start to define what really motivates them. How, you know, I've said to people before, like, you know, remember, this is for your kids. Like, as they're, like, lifting, because, like, if their goal is I want to get healthy so I can play with my kids. So as they're doing it, and they get tired and like, I don't want to do it anymore, I'll like walk up and be like, so your kid, you don't want to play with your kids anymore? Or, you know, in a sense, I'll be very harsh and brutal with people.
Yeah, but sometimes people need that honesty.
Right.
And, you know, so, I mean, my biggest attitude's always, you know, you can do, anybody can work out when they're fresh. It's when you're beat up and tired, what you do is what's going to make you a champion. And not just like, oh, I got a new world record, or I won the meet, or I won the competition, but you're winning at life. Right. And, you know, being a champion of your life and being able to dominate every aspect of your life. And I don't think it necessarily just has to be with training. I feel that it's with every aspect of your life. If you get that kind of mentality that I don't care that I'm tired, I'm going to do it anyways. I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to accomplish my task, whatever it
Yeah.
is, then I think that's what's going to make that's what's going to make you a more successful person throughout your life. Make you smarter and make you learn more. That you're like, oh, I'm exhausted and I'm going to read this book on thermodynamics. Nobody told me to, but I'm just going to do it anyway because you know what? I want to be smarter than everybody, so I'm going to read this book.
Have any of you guys? Oh, you can go.
Have you ever heard of Eric Thomas?
Yes.
You ever listened to any
I've
of his
listened to
stuff? The crazy thing about him, like his backstory was, he's a high school dropout, moves in with his girlfriend at the time is now his wife, and he always talks a lot about how she took a chance with him, how she took a chance with this high school dropout, and he might be a nobody, maybe never be able to support her, and he said that every year he wanted to wake up earlier because he wanted a chance to be awake before anybody else was awake to get to his goals, right? So he said every year when we brought the time forward, he would just keep his clock set back. So he'd always be waking up an hour early, and then the next year he'd do it again and again and again until he's up at 3 in the morning. He said he'd get up at 3 in the morning, he'd go for his walk, and during his walk all he would do is just think about what he wants to accomplish that day. And then he said he always wanted to take a nap every day, but until everything on that list was completed, he wouldn't take a nap. And that shit's crazy, right? I mean, this guy is like, he is going out on a limb trying to be the best that he can at what he does, and by getting up at 3 in the morning. And I mean, how many times have we said, hey, we're going to get up at 6 and we're going to go knock this out and do this,
Right.
and 6 o'clock comes and it's like, well, let's start at 7.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. And then to listen to his spiel about wanting to be as successful as you want to breathe.
Right.
And when you put that in perspective, you can make that work in any part of your life. It applies to anything, relationships, money, jobs, working out, anything that applies.
Well, what I was going to ask you is, have any of you guys checked out Andy Frisella's podcast, the MFCEO project? I've been tearing through that for the last week, getting caught up, and that's a great program if you haven't checked it out. But one of his big things is do it anyways.
Right.
And it's just kind of that same mindset of, it really doesn't matter what you feel. Fuck how you feel. Like, you're never going to actually feel how to do this. And if you do, you got lucky for the day.
Right.
And what's going to determine how successful you are is what you do when you don't feel like doing it. And so that was what I meant in the beginning, where it's like, I don't really want to even talk about motivation because it's almost like a wasted conversation, at least for me. And this is kind of the part of the approach that I take with, the people that I coach is like, that's fine that you're motivated. That's fantastic, because you're going to get that, and great. When you do it, ride that wave. But it will be few and far between, and what's way more important is what you do when you don't feel like it, and when you don't have the motivation and the happy vibes of wanting to go be successful at something, because that always goes away.
See, I believe that I am fully what you just said, what you don't want to be. That's totally me. I'm the guy that, after watching like Invincible, the Mark Wahlberg football movie, I'm like, whew, done with that. Running shoes are on, I'm out the door. I'm busting out 2 miles, no big deal.
Yeah.
Next day, after that, it's like, oh, every day, this is what we're doing. I'm gonna be ripped like Mark Wahlberg. Look good, feel good. Here we go. The next day, wake up. It's a little chilly outside. You know what? I gotta do it tomorrow.
I need a rest day.
Right. You can't just run every day. You gotta break it up a little
Right.
bit. And it usually lasts until I watch, Rudy or Rocky, and then it's like, oh yeah, let's go do this. All right, here we go, and I get back out there and try it again.
That's a really good point too. Is that whole thing of people watch like Rocky, or people see like the big bodybuilder, the big powerlifter, or whatever, and they're like, I'm gonna do that tomorrow, and they don't take into consideration the years that those people have spent training, the years that they have spent getting ready for, the role, or what the competition or whatever. I mean, sure, you might see somebody do one big lift, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like I wanna do that, and it's like you don't think about the years they've like failed, the years that they didn't succeed, the times that they didn't want to work out but they went in anyway. The times when they're like, oh well, you know what? I'm a 1,000-pound squatter, but today, 200 pounds feels heavy to me, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's just you don't see that, like and there's this, especially with social media now and all this stuff. I see it that it's that thing of everybody just to a point, wants to always put their best foot forward. So everybody always sees them at their best. And
Well,
it's
that's
like,
what we talked about
Right.
last episode
Yeah.
with the Chalk Strong is not just having that highlight reel and trying to maybe give people a little bit more realistic
It's the
picture.
instant
Of,
gratification.
yeah.
And that's what that person's seeking. And so you're right, when people do see that, you know, it's like, oh shit, well, I'm going to go tear it up now.
Yeah.
But all
Well,
that
that's
person
where-
is seeking is just that instant, hey, you did a great job.
So we get people that get frustrated because, you know, like, oh, well, I've been training for 3 weeks now. Why am I not, you know,
Why am I
lifting
not
500
jacked?
pounds? Like, how come I'm not jacked? Why am I not breaking records or anything?
Right.
I was like, maybe you should sit back and maybe appreciate the fact that maybe the person who has the record right now worked at it for a really long fucking time. It's
Look
not
at-
to say that you can't do it, but it may take a really long time.
Right.
Look at Mark Bell. He's on a tear right now, benching.
Yeah.
For 2 years, right? 2 years ago, he benched 560 in a competition at 242. He's just now, 2 years later, doing 555 for a double or a triple. That's a long time. That's a long time of not being successful, right? Not maybe successful is the wrong word, of not making progress.
Yeah.
Right.
But that happens. That happened to me. That happens to a lot of lifters where you have that couple of years of where stuff isn't going up. Maybe it's because of injury. Maybe it's, you know, whatever, other stuff coming up. But a lot of people don't see that. They look at him and go, well, shit, you've been jacked this whole time, and now you're doing this, so you've been successful your whole time. Mark's had roads that have been up and they have been down.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people forget that.
Well, I think a lot of that, though, and this is kind of something we had talked about, I don't know which episode it was, but with Stan Efferding, is, you know, in that 2 years where he's maybe taken that off of the priority, he's built a really big fucking business. So it's just being able to, you know, understand how much you can manage. And maybe, you know, cool, maybe his bench went down, but he's built something that's going to last, you know, for the rest of his life and hopefully into the rest of his family's life and, you know, maybe a generation down.
Yeah.
And now he's kind of coming back and reattacking those goals.
I will say, you were talking about, you know, instant gratification. I do see a plus side to some of the instant gratification, though, when we talk about trying to get motivated in the way of, you know, I played football in high school my freshman year. Football has a certain mentality. Sophomore year, though, I quit, went to water polo, and went to swimming, which has a whole different personality. I went from, you know, working out with the linemen, we're screaming at each other, calling each other pussies to see who can lift more, to, I mean, we played in the pool, you know, I mean, we didn't challenge each other, it was funny
Bitch
to
just
whip
couldn't
somebody in
shave
the
his
balls with a
legs.
towel or something, right?
Shave his legs,
Well, we did that as a
Yeah.
group, it was a whole event.
Group shaving?
But we were able to bring in some of
Wait,
that of,
No?
yeah, no, group shaving, absolutely. I'll get back to that in a second, but for like water polo, we would use the instant gratification of, hey, for some reason this group of girls have shown up, they're gonna go to pizza with us afterwards. Let's go as winners.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to pizza with a girl after I just lost, and you know I want to go as the winner. So for my instant gratification, that was my motivation.
Yeah.
We were gonna win because I might have a chance to make out with some girl at Wall Street Pizza. Never worked, but I had a chance, you know. So I like to use that. I found, you know, you had said too, you got to find it for the right person. And I think that was something when I coached a Benson High School swim team, that was a big thing. Coming from football, I like to yell at people. That's mine. I'm going to be in your face. I'm going to scream at you. I want you so mad at me that you fly through your whatever set it is so you can come back and yell back at me.
Yeah. Well, I
But
think
swimmers
that's
don't do that.
appropriate at like a competitive event. Like that needs to be part of your motivation. But again, you're talking about like small picture.
Oh, I'm
right?
talking
You're talking
real
like
short
in the
term.
event.
Right here
What gets you
tonight,
to the
right.
event is all the not maybe motivating stuff in between.
Yeah.
All right, well, I want to do one quick round table here because we're almost out of time for the segment, but I want to know what's the number one song that you put on that gets you going? Number one or two, maybe, I don't know.
How about that? Can we pick it for the other person?
What you
Oh,
think
that's
the other
even
person
better.
might be?
Yeah.
All right, Adrian, you want to go first?
Yeah, I think Jaren's would be Push It by Salt and Pepper.
Nice.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah.
All right, Jaron.
Push it.
All right.
You can pick whoever.
I feel like Jeff would listen to Bohemian Rhapsody.
Well, I do actually.
I was going to say, yeah, that's not that bad. All right, Adrian, I'm feeling Kiss from a Rose by Seal, maybe. I could see you at a stoplight, like getting ready at the gym.
That would do
I can
it.
see you just rocking Justin Bieber's Baby.
That's actually not that far off.
Alright, let's throw this video up here. Let's check
What's
out.
your actual song?
Mine?
I can't say the name of mine.
You know, I really like stuff from like Static X. That really kind of gets me going.
Man, I was not into them until I started living with you.
Yeah.
Or at least not into like them and Slipknot as much. Started living with you and figuring out like, oh, like this is
Actually pretty
amazing.
good. Yeah. Yeah, I think those are kind of my real go-tos. I think if I were like in the mood for like hip hop, it's always kind of like Tupac or Biggie, a little bit of old school stuff.
I'll say for me, there was the song "Heartless" by Kanye West.
Yeah.
When that came out, I just got dumped by some girl or whatever. That was when I started doing the whole vegetarian. I'm gonna lose weight, so I started jogging, and I would just put that song on repeat. So when I went to a triathlon, you couldn't have headphones in, but I knew the beat and that song so well and could just play it in my head over and over again. It kept my pace, everything perfect. Like that's the one song I hear that, and that's like, oh, I gotta go do something. I
You didn't
can't sit in
listen
the
to
car.
That song
remember-
amazing too. I really like that.
That's a good one,
Yeah.
I have like a couple songs that I use, but for years I've always done that. Anytime I'm gonna go for a PR on squats, it's Slayer's "Raining Blood," like every single time. And that started when I was training with this one guy, and he was like, "You're gonna PR today," and he just runs over and puts that on, and I was like, okay, it's my new PR song. I was just gonna listen anytime I'm gonna go for PRs. So I never listen to Slayer at all unless I'm going for my
Yeah.
PR.
Yeah.
And so then it's like, okay, today I'm gonna go for a new PR. It's like, all right, and you'll start to hear the drum roll and stuff, and it's like, whew, and then like when the
Mentally
music kicks
puts you
in,
in
it's
that,
like,
yeah.
like just talking about it, I can kind of start to get amped up. Yeah. And I mean, I think that's just that kind of thing of to a point. Like I try to mix up what I listen to all the time, so I don't get too stuck in listening to one type of music, because I always am in the mentality of when I go to a meet, I'm not going to get to choose my music. So don't try to always be like, oh, I need this music to lift to. Just
Maybe I
learn
could start
some lift.
listening to Nickelback or
Yeah.
something I hate.
But just learn to lift with whatever. But that being said, I think there is those times when I'm going to pick that one or two songs that really just fires me up, gets me going every time, and to a point, it's just that creating that conditioning of like I hear that song and I know it's like, okay, it's time to lift today. I'm going to put a lot of weight on the bar and I'm going to go for it. And then after I hit it, I'm just going to turn that song off, go to a different song, whatever, because it's like that song's only for when I go for my max lift.
Yeah. Mom spaghetti.
While we get our video up and going, we got anything coming up here in the next week or so? I know you have something coming up.
It's this weekend. It's
This
this
Saturday.
tomorrow. It's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a whole nother week or two
No.
out. I'm sorry.
It's tomorrow.
Wait,
They have
the-
Monday night powerlifting.
Yeah.
The competition's tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a competition at Interbeast CrossFit tomorrow, so it'll be over by the time this gets posted.
Yeah, so it went great.
But yeah, so it went really well. We'll talk about it more in the next episode.
Yeah.
You guys are doing your Monday night
Powerlifting
powerlifting.
class.
That's at the Interbeast CrossFit
Right,
in Oregon
it's 7
City.
p.m.
7.
And it's every Monday.
Every Monday is
so
when
we
going?
switch off. Like Adrian teaches the squats, and I teach the bench press.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That makes
All right,
sense.
that sounds like good. Yeah.
I teach power cleans
Yeah.
and tree punching.
I'm gonna start training snatch.
Nice.
Yeah, try something
You
different.
should.
You just want to be able to say snatch on a
Snatch.
regular basis
Yeah.
without people looking at you funny, huh?
Snatch is paleo.
You can't get a clean
What do you got
snatch,
going
focus
on
on a
this-
smooth jerk.
Like, anything going on for you coming up here?
My favorite lifting song is "Skip Me."
Oh,
we did.
You said you weren't going to say the name. Of
Well, I
your-
can't.
Oh, yeah,
it's
you
by
can.
it's by C Murder.
Oh,
But you probably know the song. I'm gonna
I have to bribe you into
Wear
taking.
the Hood Out with DMX,
I have to
or
bribe you into taking my boy to the Avengers deal at the Coliseum in March.
there's an Avengers deal.
Yeah, I'll buy you your ticket. But
Done.
you got to take him.
What is it?
I don't know. It's some kind of Marvels,
sounds like
Avengers.
Josh
I don't know.
gonna go.
But you're going.
Oh, I'm in. I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Are you kidding me?
I'll buy your ticket.
All right.
Gosh, I am massive.
Okay, so the video is this. Where's he from? It's an Asian kid with a not Asian accent. He's either
Basically-
from like I don't know England or Australia or something like that. I don't know.
Sure, he's got an accent
He's got an accent. He's flexing in the mirror
of a
And he's-
commercial gym. Like who
of a commercial gym, just shirtless.
walks around there shirtless up? And the other part is, if
No,
you
he's
look at
got
his
a-
pants,
And he's a white belt.
He's wearing
white belt.
pants. Like he's wearing like jean
Yeah.
shorts or
These aren't workout shorts.
Yeah.
So he literally
He
just
like,
drove
walked
here
into the
just to
gym,
flex.
threw his shirt off.
Yeah.
So he's gonna teach us all how to get girls on the beach.
Oh my gosh, I am massive.
He's
I am
not.
massive. I am so massive. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. I am so massive. This is the type of body that you want to get. This is the type of body that you want to get. This type of body will get you 100 girls on.
He meant to say guys.
Get you 100 girls on
100 guys on the internet.
on
Craigslist.
This summer, we will be on the beach. Getting 100 girls on.
I don't think I've ever been to a beach with 100 girls on it.
Right. Well, another part is too, like, beaches, let's be honest, unless you are in sunny California,
You
it
don't want.
doesn't really go
What
into
the-
it. You know, like,
Wait.
This
he's doing his
is
curls.
how you lift.
That is how you
25?
This
If you don't,
is how you
I think
lift
it's a 15.
to get bigger biceps. But I'm sure I don't need to lift. I think this type of body will get me, 100 girls on the beach.
if you don't
On the
take
beach,
selfies
100
while you're
girls in
lifting,
the
then
club,
it didn't
100
count.
girls
Oh, do we notice
In the
this guy in the back?
Yeah.
to the beach.
Way too much weight on that for him.
Go to the beach.
So apparently this is a gym full of idiots.
Are you ready to go to the beach?
And I don't know if I
I'm
should
ready.
make fun of him. Does he have a speech
This
impediment
type of body.
or?
Oh my gosh. Check out the trunk.
Oh my God! Wow, this guy is so jacked.
Check out the tone. Check out the definition of this body.
Oh
my gosh.
man. I don't know what. Yeah, I want to know what beaches
What?
he's going to because people were telling me that there's a spot in Oregon called Rooster Rock that's a nudist beach. Got all excited until they
Oh,
actually
it's not
go
worth
there.
it. Don't go
It's
there.
terrible. Are you kidding
Don't
me?
go there. It's
Oh.
bad. There's all. So the new beaches are kind of like.
I just looked that guy up on the internet. He's part of the Delta.
I don't know what that is.
Delta programming.
Don't know what that is.
What are you guys laughing about? It's not funny. Seriously, bodybuilding.com. I just looked him up. Delta programming.
No way.
First of all, no way, really? Second of all, was that his entrance video? Is that what we have to do to be a part of the Delta program? Is to make a video like that?
Yeah.
I want to do it now.
I'm done. Yeah, I'm
You guys
doing
are
it.
dicks.
This body. This is the body.
Oh man, Sonic the Hedgehog.
All right, hand me the piece of paper. I'm going to start writing up our apology letter.
Dear Delta experiment. It's okay. I'll sign a copy of your ebook for you.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, everybody, make sure to check us out on YouTube, Chalk Talk. Follow us on there. Follow us on iTunes. Rate us.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. Excuse
We
me.
need subscribers and we need 5-star ratings.
Yeah, subscribe. 5-star rating.
My apologies.
I've made 4 accounts already to be able to do it. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was like, there's no way it says I'm sorry.
We didn't say it.
That's like-
We didn't see the paper. Just like sorry.
Check out our website, www.chalktalk.tv. You can see all the episodes posted up there. Follow me on Facebook, Josh Larson, or Twitter at
You can follow
Larson2498.
on Facebook.
No, I mean you can become his friend
Whatever.
on Facebook. Check out our sponsors that probably regret helping to make this happen. Viso.
Are you kidding me?
Slingshot.
I'm not gonna lie. If we didn't have a Viso every time we do one of these,
This would be
This would
boring.
be so boring.
Plus, I would die about 2 hours after this. I would come in and chalk talk, and I'd be dead on the floor.
Ego Gym, October 10th. Be there at noon for a seminar.
Oh yeah, the seminar coming up.
We teach
And you can get a free copy of your
Free signed copy of the ebook.
signed.
Yeah.
Who signed it?
And then go to larsonpress.com to register for that and buy your Larson Press shirt, ebook. That's all I got. Suck it.
Oh, well, I'm still available online
No,
at
we're good. We're good. That's it.
Jeff. No,
Yeah, I'm on the internet.
Ragnarok.
at Jaron Carriage, JeronKerridge, SavageGym.com, YouTube, Savage Gym, Savage Gym on
How do you spell
Facebook,
Savage?
Hold on.
SAVAGEGYM.com. Dot would be DOT if you had to
Yeah.
spell it.
Hang on, real quick. Since Adrian has left, we're gonna keep this on the
We're gonna
podcast.
keep going.
What I want is I want everybody to blow up his Facebook with pictures of mullets. Just mullets galore. The more mullets, the better. I want him to be annoyed, and I want him to not know because he doesn't listen to our episodes all the way through.
No.
He's gonna stop it
I don't think
partway
you
through.
listened to him at the beginning.
He may not. Mullets all over his Facebook.
Can I
Let's
submit
load that
half of
up.
my baby pictures when I had the mullets?
Please do.
I got
Basically, it's
about
just
5
gonna
more.
be a ton of pictures of you.
Okay. Either flood his Facebook with mullets or pictures of me. Actually,
There we go.
if you can bonus points, if you can find pictures of me with a mullet,
There we go.
we'll send you something.
Yeah.
I want to do that now.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna tear his Facebook apart.
Boom.
All right.
This is the actual end of the episode. Suck it, Adrian.
Yeah.